Right, and we are back again. And tonight I have Mr. Kasim Ruffin with us
Ooh,
tonight.
sounds so great.
He is a 2-0 bare knuckle boxer with BKFC and climbing those rankings, headed toward that title shot. Still active in other sports, MMA, boxing, maybe kickboxing, I believe. So, welcome to
Yep.
the show, man.
Thank
It
you,
was
thank
good
you,
to
thank
finally
you.
meet you. It was good to finally meet you over the weekend out here at NLC 24 in Lexington. So
Right.
tell me, tell me about this weekend, man. I mean, brought your boy Malik up here, got his first win.
Yeah, this weekend was absolutely amazing. Honestly, I was a bit shocked. I'm not gonna lie. Your show, the quality, the production was great. It surpassed my expectations for a local show. I was like, yo, y'all got something here. This is gonna be nice. Um, Treated us well. The fans were great. We went down there. We fought the hometown guy. You know, his whole team was on the card, and even though our guy won, the fans didn't boo us. They didn't treat us ugly. You know, they gave us our big ups. His team was great. They had a lot of respect. Overall, we just had an amazing time.
That's what you get here, man. And I've seen the other side of it. I've seen somebody win a fight. I mean, somebody come in, could be the nicest guy in the world, never say anything bad about anybody, be respectful, and he beats the hometown guy, and then just about gets stoned getting out of the arena.
Yeah, man. It's low key scary. First got down there, we were like, yo, if you got to go to the bathroom, let me know, bro. We don't go nowhere by yourself. We don't know how these folks is.
Yeah, it's good. It's good people, man. It's a good city. I like it here. I've been here since late 2021. It's been very welcoming to me. Um, I'm just a old redneck MMA promoter from West Virginia, and I come over here and they've welcomed me, man. So
It's awesome,
um,
man.
yeah, so I like it. I like it. I'm not one. I guess I'm one of the locals now. So hopefully they see me that way.
Hopefully
I
so. I
like it
think
here.
so. They seem to have adopted to you well.
Yeah, but I believe this was probably Malik's first time getting in the cage or the ring where he's the biggest guy in there, towering over top of the referee and his opponent.
Right. We're used to being the smaller guys, so that was fun. Though. It was definitely fun.
Yeah. So tell me about. Let's talk about you a little bit. So I know I've talked to you several times going back to 2019. I believe Cody Abbott had reached out to you to come and fight for us, and we just were never able to make it happen. And we're still wanting to make it happen. We're talking getting you an MMA title shot here, and really hoping we can make that happen.
That would be
And
absolutely amazing. Yeah.
but yeah, man. I mean, you've fought up through the ranks, amateurs, had a great amateur career, went professional. MMA career started out really good, transitioned into bare knuckle. I didn't see that coming, but 2-0 now. So I mean, what's it like to be on the big show, man? I know you fought on these little cards. You fought these hole in the wall gyms, and now you're in one of the biggest promotions in the world.
To be honest with you, it felt the hole in the wall shows the scarier. I'm not gonna lie. Um, on the bigger shows, I kind of block it out. To be honest with you, the lights are so bright that I don't see the crowd. I'm just there in that moment, which is kind of the reason why I got into martial arts or competing in martial arts in the first place. So I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, right? Never been tested.
Yeah,
My family wasn't big on medications. It's like, yo, no, I don't care what. Excuse my language. I don't care what you have or what's going on with you, but you're gonna figure it out. So we figured it out. But when I have something that I can hyper focus on, it makes everything else quiet. So when I'm in combat, it's just peaceful. Like I don't have to worry about anything else. No stress, no debt. That girl who ain't treating you right, that girl who treating you great, but I don't know things just ain't working out like how they should. none of that matters, man. It's just you and this other person. And to be honest, I barely see the other person. It's honestly just me. Like, can I perform the way that I know I'm able to perform? Can I push myself the way I know I can? It's
When
peaceful,
we
man.
talk about you being barely able to see the other person, that reminds me of your BKFC debut. You're out here fighting with one eye completely shut and still dogging this guy.
Yeah. So, most people don't know, and it was intentional, but I was training with Reggie Barnett Jr. for that fight because, if I'm going to go into bare knuckle and I'm right there in the former king of bare knuckles background, I need to go pay my respect to the man.
Yeah.
So Reggie was touching me up, getting me right for the fight, and he actually broke my nose like a week before the fight. Yeah. He was teaching me a technique, and when we were live sparring with it, he switched it up on me a little bit just to see if I was going to adjust properly, and I didn't. Caught my nose clean and just instantly blood everywhere.
Mm,
We didn't go get it checked out because I knew if I went to the doctor, they were going to tell me I couldn't fight.
yeah.
So literally, the first punch I get hit with skips across my nose and hits me in the eye. It was a knuckle, so it wasn't anything illegal. Trey, Santos is a great guy. But when it hit my nose, it fractured it, and I did the thing you're never supposed to do, which is blow your nose. So that caused a little bit of swelling there. So my eye was pretty much shut from round one, about a minute in, until I won.
You were looking. I mean, in the beginning of that fight, I mean, it was completely one sided. I don't think I saw you really take any damage until you were seeing out of one side and you were getting caught from the other side. Um, Talk about making some adjustments on the fly and having to do it early in a fight. So what was that like to have to fight basically with one eye one eye at the probably the biggest fight in your career at that point?
So it gave me literally everything I was asking for. If any of my previous fights to this MMA, none of that. I never had that like dog fight. If I lost the fight, I more than likely just got held against the cage or out wrestled. One time I got caught in a submission, like on my amateur side. So I had never really been in a war. So I used to always say like, yeah, I want that bloody, that nasty fight because I want to see that part of me. Like I know I have it in me, but until you really know, you don't know.
Yep.
Um, as far as the adjustments, is our game plan was already set in stone. We knew what we had to do to beat him. I didn't want to just beat him. I wanted to make impression. The only thing that kind of threw us off was with that injury. We made the adjustment, but also he was pretty smart. His game plan was to touch and then immediately grab me. He thought he was going to
Yeah.
have the size advantage because he was a little bigger. But every time he grabbed me, it would reset my range because at that point I had only been training to box for about 3 months, maybe, if that. 2 months really, because I just started jumping in with Reggie for his camp, and anytime he grabbed me, my mind instantly went to okay, go for the takedown, and I'm like, I can't do the takedown, so it would freeze me for a second, and now I have to readjust. Are you gonna let me in? Awesome. Um, as far as the injury though, it was just, I used to wrestle with my eyes closed intentionally, so every time he hugged me, it told me where he was, and I just had to work my way back in.
So he was helping you out, didn't even know it.
Honestly,
Yeah. He was giving you the vision you didn't have.
if he would have
Um,
stayed out and just grabbed, I might have been in trouble.
yeah. So you win your debut, you move on, and this was, I believe you may have had another one get canceled in between there. Somebody pulled out, but 6 months later, you get your next one. Get in there
Yeah.
with Daniel Gary. So tell me about this one. Yeah, you got a little bit of pressure on you coming in 1-0, and you're definitely expected to win that second fight. So what was that like?
So that second fight, I was not supposed to fight Daniel Gary, right? Me and him had been going back and forth prior to it, but they told me they didn't want that fight because I was trying to get on the card earlier than that. Um, we couldn't get it. They offered me somebody else, but it fell through. Like on a different card. So when that Salem card came around, they offered me some kid who was 1-1. He pulled out. they offered me somebody else who was like 0-1. He pulled out. They offered me this other kid who was supposed to be making his debut. I told them that he wasn't going to make weight. Um, he didn't. So then he pulled out. So we're already at 3 pullouts. But we're like, all right, we're still going to be on the card. They start to offer me Daniel Alvarez, I think, the guy who had who fought Reggie for the title.
Oh,
On that previous card. So I was like, okay, I get a former title contender on my second fight. I was like, I didn't say no, but we said like, if you're gonna give me a title contender, then like I want more money. Just
yeah,
like, hey, like let's be real with it. If I'm gonna fight a title contender for my second fight, you gotta pay me more. That fight didn't go through. I don't think it was because they weren't willing to pay me. I think it was just other stuff like they couldn't necessarily get him in time.
yeah.
Then we have this other guy who all the way up to literally 2 days before was supposed to fight. He was previously fighting at 170, but we were like, whatever, we'll go and fight the bigger dude. We, in our mind, knew that he wasn't going to make weight, so we were making that adjustment anyway to go in, getting ready to fight another person who was just going to lay on me, hold me, type deal. We had already kind of fixed that adjustment from the Trey Santos fight. That's why in the Daniel Gary fight, when you saw him grab me, I literally just tossed him. I think one of the commentators said, "Oh, Ruffin just tossed a former D1 wrestler." I was like, "Bro, I'm not gonna allow you to even have that second to sit on me and think that you're gonna hold me and sap my energy."
Yeah.
But Daniel Gary literally came together like in the last 8 hours before the weigh-ins. So shout out to him and shout out to Andy Hall and Nate Shook for making that happen because,
Yeah.
oof, we were already on our way driving up there.
I remember that was a fight. I knew you were fighting, but I didn't know you were fighting this guy. And it was kind of like, I thought you were fighting somebody else. And I know when I tuned in, I'm like, who's this guy? Who's this cat? And I looked him up. I'm like, yeah, that's not who I thought he was fighting. But yeah, I guess it changed changed several times in between whenever I was paying attention to when I tuned in.
Yeah, it was
Because
bad. We said yes to like,
usually I'm busy with 100 things, and I got it on my calendar or something. I'm like, all right, I'm tuning in. I'm watching Kasim fight, and jump on there. I'm like, man, who's he fighting? What's going on here? Um, yeah, because you're locked in. You're not out here letting everybody know what's going on. You're just like, all right, you're just keeping yourself ready, and then we just
right.
we get that pay per view. Like, who the hell is this? But I'm glad you got something, and it's been a minute, man, and I'm hoping they get you back in there soon. I mean, that was September.
Yeah, I was
Um,
supposed to fight April 20th. I was really looking forward to that one because it was versus Travis Floyd, who had an okay MMA career, but then he transitioned over to boxing. He has like a ton of boxing experience now. I think he has over 10 professional boxing fights, and he's 1-0 in bare knuckle. I wanted somebody with a win, and not only is he 1-0, he's 1-0 over Robert Armos, who's like 3-3 or 3-2. But Robert Armos has a win over Huggy Bear, John Dotson's little brother.
okay,
So I was like, all right, bet that's a solid. And he didn't just get a win over Armos, like he beat Armos. He was out there looking like he was what's his name, Roy Jones, like hands down, just slipping him. I was like, yo, this is gonna be a fun fight because he's gonna
yeah,
fight me. Like he's not coming in there to wrestle. Like he's gonna have his hands down trying to knock me out. And I'm like, yo, that's what I want. Let's get it. Um,
somebody's going to stand and throw hands and
man,
not try to
my
just hold.
my plan was to get him out. I honestly felt like I was going to get him out of there in the second round. So if you notice, my fights went fourth round. Then with Dan Gary, I got him out of there in the third round. So Floyd, I was planning. I was like, second round for you, bro.
Yes,
I got to
it's
get
more
4, 3,
volume,
2, 1.
for you, and less trying to get somebody off of you.
Yeah.
So I know you're just waiting on a call from those guys, but what else do you have coming up?
So now I'm getting ready to make my professional boxing debut. July 6th in North Carolina. Gonna go knock this kid out so I can continue to have my 100% finish rate. All of my MMA fights from amateur to pro, I've won by finish. All of my bare knuckle fights, I've won by finish. So I plan on winning this boxing fight by finish. Then hopefully I get me a nice little kickboxing fight. When that by finished, then a Muay Thai fight. Finish them. All of my submission stuff. I choke people out. I'm a finisher.
Yep.
So you come
Hopefully
to see
we
me
can get
fight,
you
you
up
come to
here for
see a
that. Hopefully we can get you up here for that featherweight MMA title fight we've been talking about too.
that would be
We just gotta
amazing.
find an opponent. Just gotta get you an opponent up here. So,
That'd be
um,
excellent.
yep. So yeah, man, one of the top guys in Virginia, one of the most popular fighters in Virginia, traveling, competing in everything. Um, True warrior, man, and
There's a
it's
lot.
been awesome. Yeah, it's been awesome watching you come up through the amateur ranks into the pros, and really, you're still young, still getting into everything. Um, you got a long way to go, man. I mean, you're about to hit your prime. I mean, I don't think you're in your prime yet. I mean, I think you're probably still a year or two out, and
Honestly,
already doing big things, man. Um,
thank you.
and yeah, try to get you here soon. And man, it's been I believe that's all I got tonight, though. I know we said we were going to keep it quick because you probably in between classes here,
Oh, no,
but
I'm on my way home now. Just finished the classes. I'm training some warriors. We're gonna bring some more boys out there. Malik was the first one, but we're gonna bring a squad out there next time.
yep,
Kentucky showed us so much love and appreciation, man. Again, that was such an honor to have Malik be able to come and make his pro debut in Kentucky. The home of the GOAT.
yep,
Like,
Muhammad Ali, man.
man, like our
That's
whole time there, we relaxed. The parks out there are beautiful, and we just got to talk and really vibe and be in that moment. It was beautiful, man. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, man, it was awesome having you guys down. And hey, anything you want to say to the people watching, and one other thing, let them know how they can tune in to watch your pro boxing debut that's coming up.
So as of right now, just follow me on my social media. That's at caution_Kasim Ruffin. Honestly, after you put caution in the underscore, I should pop up. If I'm not the first person that pops up, I'm a little upset at your algorithm. Just saying. Once I have the information on where the pay-per-view and stuff like that will be, I'll post it. And also just keep your eyes plugged. I will be back to the NLC and I'll be fighting soon. Malik's definitely coming back. I'm telling y'all now, watch, that boy's gonna get better and better every time. He told y'all that wasn't his best boxing performance. He's gonna come back, get a little bit better, maybe even win a nice little belt over there, and then go and knock some people out in the BKFC. They're already looking at him, but we said we need to develop, we need to get him better, and
Yep.
NLC is the perfect place to build a warrior.
Yep. Hey, happy to have you guys here, man. And
Thank you, man.
going to be a breeding ground for the big leagues. All right, everybody, thanks for watching.